lost in Austin. I saw pause. My eyes crawled to the table. Paralyzed by pair-wise tights, then intense. To this heaven slice of nature, wrapped in skin. No dice and woes of life. Love and pride, looking at her eyes. What's the meaning of life? One subject to paradise. Christian and leads, most reflects. Often beers as hit, click, really feels here. Rain, killing the flame. Close to she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear. Shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose.
Yes, it is. Truth is what you can see. I want to thank everybody for joining today's live stream of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark. Today, we're coming to you from Cutting Up Barbershop. You know where I am. I haven't got that fresh cut in today, but I will. That is not the dumbest question of the week. We're not doing that yet this week. We do not have a dumbest question of the week for whatever reason. I forget what he said, the reason why we don't, but we do not have that. But, you know, Cutting Up Barbershop and Salon, I can't even talk correctly now. Cutting Up Barbershop and Salon over here on 36th Street, 35 Northeast 36th Street. And you've called for, if you want to come in and let them know if they're open. They're open Tuesday through Saturdays, 9 to 6. Really, Tuesday through Fridays, 9 to 6. Saturdays, they're open 9 till, they close around 4 on Saturdays. But you can call 405-524-6100 if you want to find out if they're open or if they're closed or if they have whatever, how busy they are. Usually I'll just go ahead and I'll text Keith or I'll call him and go, hey, man, how busy are you? Do you have an opening? Can you slide me in? Of course, today I have yet to get that fresh cut because I almost did not do the show today. And I don't know how long we're actually going to be on the air today, to be honest with you. I had some stuff happen personally, and this is not going to be a good day. This has not been a good week. I'm not going to go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital, but I just hate hospitals. I don't really do them ever since my mom passed away. I just don't do them. But anyway, got some things that I need to do today. And so I don't know how on point or how sharp I would be. But so just guys, bear with me, and we're going to try to get through this together. So, but of course tonight the big story is Serena Williams is going to be playing tonight, and this is where if you want to catch her, she's going to be playing, of course, on center court at Arthur Ashe Stadium tonight at 6 o'clock on ESPN2, and she's going against Aja Tomajanovic. And the good thing about what Serena did by beating the number 2 ranked tennis player in the world, she only has the number 5 or number 12 ranked players left in her side of the bracket. So Serena has every opportunity to make it to the semifinals, if not the finals this year. So, 40 years of age, just definitely the GOAT as far as women tennis is concerned, even though she is one behind Margaret Court with 24. Serena has 23. I still believe Serena is the greatest women's tennis player of all time because, like I said, to me, the GOAT means it's one thing simple, greatest of all time. That means you can do what you did in any era. That's what the GOAT means. I don't want to hear about all this stuff about, to me, anybody, it's hard for me in professional sports to call somebody the GOAT. I'm talking about in men's sports because in football and basketball, it's hard because in baseball even too because, the rules are completely different. You're not going against the same pitcher in baseball. You got all these different pitchers that you're going against. Everybody's trying to hit home runs. Nobody's really hitting for average. Basketball, it's soft. You can't be physical. And I get it. It's because you don't want any of your stars hurt, and they needed to get away from the physical basketball because fans want to see action. They want to see players score a bunch of points. That's what they want to see, and so that's what you get in today's basketball game. And when it comes to football, it's just soft. I mean, you can't hit anybody. We were arguing with in the barbershop last week about wide receivers today. And he's talking about, they could go back then and they could get all these. I said, man, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Back then in the day, you could grab and hold inside 5 yards. It's completely different than what it is now. Don't you agree with that, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting ready to do a haircut here in a minute, aren't you?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, well,
Yeah, probably about 15 minutes.
well, Serena's on tonight. Did you watch the match the other night?
I watched the highlights.
The highlights?
Yeah. I didn't get to watch, which I should.
Yeah.
Considering, this is her last go around.
Well, everybody was there. Tiger was there. Spike Lee was there. Dionne Warwick was there. Seal was there. Then, of course, all the rich people. The people who could afford the tickets.
Definitely a great athlete.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's, they were saying she's the greatest of all time. I go, women. She's not the greatest of all time men. Because
I don't even think if you can actually compare the two.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, because, they don't play against each other.
That's what I was saying. I was like, and on top of that, Serena in her prime, she could probably beat maybe 105, 125 and up in men's tennis. Mm-hmm. She couldn't beat any of the top men's tennis players. They hit the ball too fast. They're too strong. It just couldn't happen. So I don't agree with that at all. But I'm talking about the greatest of all time. And it's hard for me to give anybody today's game because the greatest of all time means you could do what you did in any era. You could play for you could play for 20 years in any era. You could, you could do what. To me, that's the greatest of all time.
So you don't think anybody in this era of sports?
Nope.
Oh man.
Because the rules have changed so much that it allows for longevity. It doesn't allow to find out how mentally tough someone is.
So you don't
like
think LeBron could last?
No. What I was saying about I had an argument here about LeBron saying this guy was like, oh, LeBron would have killed the Pistons. No, he wouldn't have. They would have killed him coming down the lane. They would have took his head off. So I can't give him that title. Plus, he takes games off. He manages his time. Dude, do you know how many games he played in Oklahoma City? LeBron at 20 and out of what? 45 games, let's say?
Yeah, probably half of those.
No, not even that. Not even half.
I would say half. Just
no, not even half. No, he never played there when we played Cleveland.
Yeah,
never.
I do remember. I know about.
And that's what I'm saying. If you're the greatest of all time, people pay a lot of money who can't afford to go to a game to watch you play. Now, football, you got to play.
I think later on in his career, he started because I remember he came out and talked about that. He talked about why he plays all the games.
No, LeBron does one thing. LeBron is about stats. That's why he plays less games, because he's trying to beat Kareem, which he will. That's what he's doing. Period. He's about longevity. Now, is he one of the top 5 players like we did the other day? And I'm going to ask you this, Chris. Yes. Who would you sit? Here's your 6. Okay. You got to sit one.
Okay.
Michael, Kobe, LeBron, Shaq, KD, Steph. That ain't as easy as it sounds, huh?
Okay, so
it's Kobe, Michael, LeBron, Steph, KD, Shaq. Who do you sit? Who do you sit? You ain't got a comment? What about you, big man? You got a comment? I'm giving Chris some time to think over here. You ain't got a comment either? Oh, you on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would suck. Because I would honestly, it would have to be out of Kobe and Jordan.
Oh, my gosh. No. It's an easy question. No. Steph Curry is the one that sits.
I'm not sitting Steph. Steph
okay, look.
Steph brings another facet.
This is why I'm sitting Steph. This is why I'm sitting Steph. I've got Kobe, Michael, LeBron, my three out. Okay. You ain't scoring. Who you gonna score on? Argue three of the best defensive players in the history of the game. All of them 6'6", 6'9", 6'8", and up with wingspan. Then I got KD at the 4, Shaq at the 5.
There's only so much basketball.
But I understand that. But if I gotta sit one person, it's gonna be the little dude who don't play defense.
I would sit Kobe or Jordan because.
Well, then sit Kobe. Then you ain't gonna sit Jordan.
Their skill set is the same.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can't sit. Well, if you're gonna sit one, you sit Steph.
Steph brings something I've never seen in basketball.
Steph don't play defense.
I've never seen, and this is just from me personally, I've never seen a person electrified and completely turn the game like he does.
That's because it's about the 3-point shot now.
Yeah, so I've never.
It used to be about the dunk. Okay. Now it's about the 3-point shot.
Yeah, so like I said, I've never seen like when Steph is down 20 and he hits a 3, you think they're coming back?
Yeah, but I think that with everybody.
I don't.
In the league,
I've never thought that about anybody.
In the league, when you start hitting, you hit a couple, not 1 3. But if you hit 2 or 3 threes,
Steph hits 1 3 and they're down 20 and they go down to 17.
I don't think that.
I instantly think they're coming back.
I don't think that. I would think that more with Clay than I did with him.
Oh man, do you not like Steph?
No, I love Steph, but I'm not going. But listen, I'm not. I don't put Steph in front of arguing the top 5 defense, the top 5 players of all time. 3 of them are Kobe, Michael, and LeBron. So Steph ain't. No. He top 12, 13. He ain't top 5. He ain't top 10.
Oh, he top 10.
I don't know who I'm putting in front of him. Who I'm putting him in front of.
Who?
I'm not putting him in front of any of those 4, plus Kareem, plus Magic, plus Shaq, plus Larry Bird, plus Bill Russell, plus KD, plus Tim Duncan. I'm not putting him in front of any of them. Any of them. Not one of them am I putting him in front of.
We've had this discussion before. I think Steph is top 5.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
I also think KD's top 5.
KD ain't top 5. I ain't giving you that. Yeah, you better be going back there now because I'm going to do the Cowboys schedule here in a minute. I'm going to do that boy. I don't even know what to think about him. Chris, he does his own thing. So, but that being said, at least we agree about Serena. Now, what I feel sorry for tomorrow, the women's national team is playing tomorrow, which is why I have my jersey on today, my USA jersey. I need a men's jersey because you can see, well, when it clicks back to me, the women's jersey has the 4 stars up at the top, or the women's shirt has the 4 stars at the top. But they play tomorrow at noon. If you want to go to Kansas City, Kansas, they're playing at the Children's Mercy Park, and it's international friendly against Nigeria. So, I'm a huge soccer fan, and I can't wait for the World Cup this fall. And my guy Nick was telling me that Nick Jackson over at Santa Fe, that this is the first year that the World Cup has been during the wintertime. And it's hard because Premier Leagues are going on now, so all these guys have to leave their teams. They're taking a break so they can go play for their national teams because usually it's in the summer. So this is the first year that's going to be in the winter, and it's competing against football, American football, which as long as it's not on a day football is going on, they're going to be able to compete. But if you're on a weekend against American football, your ratings are going to go. But the IOC is all about the money, and I can understand why they do that. It's about the money to them. We know that. And they paid a lot of money to be in where they're at. Plus, it's just too hot. I believe they're in Kandahar. It's too hot to be over there in the summer at 100-plus temperature, so they had no choice but to do it in a winter. So, but anyway, tomorrow, women's national team, September 3rd, noon, they're playing Nigeria. And if you want to go to the game, they're in Kansas City, Kansas, at Mercy Park. So if you want to go by there, by all means, go by Children's Mercy Park. If you're in that area, if you did not know about it, that's something that I think you should go. And as you can see, I have my shirt on, but I have the men's on. So the men have not won any world championships. So therefore, they have 0 stars, where the women have 4. So I'm waiting on my guy Drew Henthorne. I don't know if he's going to come on today, but we're going to take a quick break and want to recognize our sponsors. If you have any IT needs, if your computer goes down or your network goes down, call these guys up for Collaborative Logic. They can come in and fix whatever it is that your problems might be. Those are the people that can help you out. Also at SRB, if you have engineering, surveying, or planning needs, they're definitely all about being behind the scenes. Then, of course, Oak Grove Trucking, my guy Jose Fierro, and his dump truck. If you need some rocks moved off, some dirt moved, he is your guy to call. And then Greg and Max, Nafy, at Nafco, they do a bunch of things, real estate, they do a bunch of different stuff. So if you want to holler at any of them, please, by all means, do it. And last but not least, Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912. The bank that makes things happen. Of course, they are an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. If you want to have any pre-qualify for any loans, you can at www.ynbok.com. That's ynbok.com. If you want to pre-qualify for any cars, boats, RVs, houses, you're doing rental property, or if you want to buy a building or build a building or anything like that, or if you're doing building neighborhoods and stuff like that, those are your people that you want to go holler at. And then, of course, we want to thank my guy Keith over here at Cutting Up Barbershop and Salon, 35 Northeast 36. They're open Tuesday through Fridays, 9 to 6. And on Saturdays, usually about 4. I need to go ahead and change that on my deal because they aren't open till 6 on Saturdays for whatever reason that it is. So that being said, I was kind of waiting for my guy Drew Henthorne, like I said, of HuskerDrewPicks.com to come on, but I do not know where he is at today. Clearly, he's probably doing some work since he got rained out yesterday. I'm sure he's got a bunch of stuff that he has to get done today. So anyway, he's pretty much doing all that, getting that done. So we'll wait a little bit and do his picks last, but not least, we'll do his picks at the end of the day. Then, we talked about the Thunder having 13 games. I said they played the last 13. They have 13 games that are back to back, so that is going to be crazy for them. So we'll see how that works out. And we went over that yesterday on our show, Thunder Thursdays. We went over the 13 games back to back, kind of gave our opinion on what we thought would happen with the Thunder. So now let's go bump into some NFL news. Johnny Manziel's documentary on Netflix. Am I going to watch that? I'm thinking about it, thought about it. I'm not watching Johnny Manziel on Netflix. I could care less about Johnny Manziel and about watching him. So that's completely out. I have no desire to waste my time, valuable it is, watching Johnny Manziel and his idiocy. So I'm out on that. Now, NBA basketball, everybody's heard about this. We broke the news. Excuse me. We broke the news yesterday on the Unpopular Hour when we were with George's Happy Hog that Donovan Mitchell was traded from the Jazz for 3. We didn't really know what the whole situation was, but they were traded for 3 first-round unprotected picks in 25, 27, and 29, and then 2 swap picks in 26 and 29. Now, Chris and I were talking about that. When's the last time a team won with 2 small guards? Now, Donovan Mitchell's not small, but, I mean, they're going to be tough. But, look what else they got. They got Lauri Markkanen. I'm not a big fan of his. He's okay. Ochai Agbaji and Colin Sexton, though, those are 2 good pickups for the Jazz. And I like what they did right there with those 2. They could bring a lot of heat. And I think now the Cavaliers are going to be a lot better than they was. And on the other side, the Utah Jazz will definitely benefit gaining those 3 players. And now between the 5 picks that they got for 4 picks, 5 picks that they got for Rudy Gobert, now Donovan Mitchell. I mean, they're loading up kind of what the Thunder. They look like what the Thunder did and Sam Presti with all the picks that they had, and we still got a bunch, but you still got to draft well. You got to know what you're looking for. Danny Ainge has already been through this when he was at Boston, picking up the haul that he had between getting Jason Tatum um, in the draft, and look who he drafted in Boston 4 years later, or 5 years later, we're in the NBA Finals. So, and then you look at what the Lakers could have done, and they did not do. But even though they did win a title, they had a chance to really do some stuff and did not draft well. So it's all about, you can have tons of picks, but if you don't have a good scouting system and you don't know what you're not getting the right picks, it's irrelevant how many picks you have. And Danny Ainge, if he does the same thing that he did in Boston, Utah will be back. But he is consistent in the type of people that he likes being around, going from Boston to uh, going Boston to Utah. I mean, it's the same type of folks. They have the same type of mentality towards people of color. So that's going to be interesting on how that works out. Clearly, I'm not a fan of Utah, if you couldn't tell. Now, in football wise, you know what's happening. We've been going through each division, and we are now up on the NFC East. We started out the AFC West. We did the AFC Central. We did the AFC East last. We did the AFC North. Anyway, we went through the whole thing, or AFC South, and now we're going through the NFL. We went through the NFL West, then we went through the NFL South, and which of course was really two teams, but we threw Baker in there simply because he is an Oklahoma boy. We thought we would throw Baker in there as well. So, but anyway, in NFC East, which arguably is one of the worst divisions in all of professional football, probably it is the worst. Let's just kind of say it, because I saw a stat where Dak is 54-6 against the NFC East, and then he's 500 against everybody else. So that, and then what do you do, Jerry Jones? You take away his safety blanket and Amari Cooper. You don't sign the players you need to sign. And Michael Gallup is still hurt, but CeeDee Lamb is a beast if he can hold on to the football, which is yet to be determined. So we'll see if he can do that, and hopefully he can. But so anyway, what we did is we went ahead and we did the schedule for the Cowboys to break down. I was kind of waiting for Keith to get here so we could kind of go over that. And in fact, we will come back and we will do that last. But so anyway, what we'll do is I want to just bring up something that's going to be that's important to me, and that's the JFK Awards. It's coming up September 20th. Of course, it's the John F. Kennedy Community Service Award. Honoring these three honorees right here. You can see them on the screen, and well deserved. And thank God I'm gonna be able to see them and meet them and talk to them. And of course, I already know Dez, so OSU guy. By the way, the Cowboys played really well yesterday until they go 22 points in the fourth quarter. The over/under was 51-57. I scored over 100 points, which I didn't watch all of it. I was done by halftime. I was like, I'm out of here, and went and did what I wanted to do and finished having cocktails and enjoyed myself. But Santa Fe Family Life Center, of course, the John F. Kennedy Community Service Awards. For more information, you can call 405-840-1817. That's 405-840-1817 for more information, or for a chance. You can see right there where you can be a sponsor, or you can buy a single ticket. Those are the pricing, and it's going to, of course, be at the Omni Hotel, Oklahoma's premier hotel, just being built. And if you've never been there, fantastic place to visit. And of course, every Thursday they have the Sunset Serenade, and by all means, that is a fun event and something that I think you should do. So, that being said, our question today is really interesting because this is going to impact the Ravens. I wonder if they learned their lesson from the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott and what they went through, that the Cowboys could have got Dak Prescott for a lot less money. They did not do it. They franchised until they had to give him all the money they gave him. And I'm a Dak Prescott fan, but I don't think he's deserving of that much, but it is what it is when it comes to the quarterback market. So the question of the day is this: how does Russell Wilson's contract, I should say, impact or affect Lamar Jackson? Now, when I looked at it, because of course, he just signed a 5-year, $245 million contract with 165 guaranteed. Now, Patrick Mahomes signed the 10-year, 245, but only 141 of it was guaranteed. But of course, they're going to give it all to him. I mean, it's just stupid to think that he's not going to get all this money. And of course, they will restructure because in 2 years from now they'll be paying him $60 million, or 3 years from now they'll owe him $60 million. And I don't see them paying Patrick Mahomes $60 million. I don't think they can afford it. But that being said, you can see Deshaun Watson got 230. Kyler Murray got 189. Now, when I look at this, if anybody of this group deserved a full guaranteed contract, it would be Russell Wilson. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one. He's been a Super Bowl MVP. He's got the winningest record over the last 10 years of any NFL quarterback. So if anybody would have been deserving of the guaranteed, it would have been him. But let's face it, the Browns did it because they had the Deshaun would have not have come to Cleveland without them just throwing something at him. It's kind of like people with live golf. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But a lot of these guys, I look at it, nobody wants to see them. People, they're piranhas. And it's just like this. It's just like, dude, you're going for the money. You're not, you all your life, all you want to do is be a PGA golfer and to measure yourself against the best that ever played. And then what you do, this Greg Norman comes out, Phil Mickelson throws all this money at you, and you take it. But I'm sorry, let me get back on topic here. I think that as far as Lamar Jackson is concerned, the problem that the Baltimore Ravens have with him is he's a running quarterback. Same thing kind of with Kyler Murray. But the question is Lamar better than Kyler? Yeah. He's more, I don't know if he's more electric, but Kyler throws a better ball. But Kyler goes down a lot easier and is easier to tackle in open space than Lamar is. And so I understand Boston's hesitancy, but I got to give him more. I got to give him at least 190 million. What is it? Kyler got 230.5. So I'd give Lamar 190. Because what's going to happen is Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are coming up within the next 2 years, and they're all going to get the $300 million worth. I mean, we already know they're going to be in the $300 million range. We already know what that's going to be, unless they're smart like Mahomes and took less money to make sure that they can still afford to pay players to keep the teams around them. Or you could do what Dak did, and I understand what Dak did because Dallas refused to pay him. He wasn't making any money for all that time. They disrespected him. So when he had the chance to take Jerry Jones to the bank, he did. Now, the question is, will Lamar do the same thing? And I'm hoping he doesn't. Will Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert do the same thing? They're probably going to be more like the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, where, look, I'm going to make so much money off the field. I can afford to take a little less money on the NFL deal to make sure that you're putting people around me to make sure that we continue to be successful as a team because I'm chasing rings. I'm chasing championships. I'm not chasing dollars. And so Lamar's got to figure out, and the problem is his mom is representing him, and that's a big thing about what it is. I mean, his mom is representing him, so how much does she really know? And, yes, she's taking advice from somebody. Clearly, I'm hoping she is. At the same time, Lamar, you got to go, okay, I know I'm worth this. This is what I want. Look at what this guy got. Well, nobody's going to get a guaranteed contract because you can see what the Denver Broncos did with him. They gave him less money than Kyler got. So, I just think they overpaid for Kyler, but we shall see. If you're a running quarterback, the chances of you making it over the next 4 years, good luck. But Kyler does have at least 190 million that he is going to make. At least that at the bar minimum. So we'll see what Lamar does. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the Big 12 schedule. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. I was on college football schedule this weekend. Of course, Oklahoma State. I don't know if you watched that game last night. They murdered. They were murdering Central Michigan. They had their full attention, and of course, Central Michigan came back late, scoring 22 points in the fourth quarter to make it seem like it was closer than what it was. And then, of course, a full slate. Oh man, tomorrow you got Oregon versus Georgia. Uh, Unlike Drew, I think that Oregon is going to give Georgia a game. He thinks Georgia's going to blow them out, but I think they might have a little bit of national championship hangover. We shall see. Not a lot, but I think it'll be a good game because I think it's at the Georgia Dome, and so at a neutral site, so that will help Oregon. If they had to go in to Athens, then I think they would just get smashed. Notre Dame and Ohio State. I think that Notre Dame's biggest issue is what are they going to do at quarterback? What are they going to do running back? What are they going to do at offensive line? What are they going to do at defense? Because losing your head coach, even though you did keep the continuity by bringing in the defensive coordinator and everybody seemed to like him, what that's going to translate? How is he going to be as head coach? How is he motivating? Because no matter what you have as far as players coming back in your quarterback or skill positions, the bottom line is how is the coach going to motivate the team? How is he going to get them ready for this game at the shoe with the lights on? We shall see how that works. I think that Ohio State will handle their business with Notre Dame. Cincinnati versus Arkansas, what a game that's going to be. Arkansas, I like the talent, what they're building there. They've slowly, each year, Creighton's gotten better. They've loved the quarterback, loved the wide receivers. I like what they've got going on. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. And then I just have Rice and USC on here simply because I just want to see what Caleb Williams does with USC. I think that they're going to beat the crap out of Rice, which is what SC fans need and Lincoln Riley needs as far as to give those faithful, because I can promise you it's going to be insane there. So we shall see how that works out. Now back to the NFC East. We thought about who am I going to use? What two teams? Of course, I got to go with the teams with the two best records who I think will compete. I have them both finishing at 11-7. The Cowboys and the Eagles, and who they will lose to. The Cowboys, they could be 10-7 very easily, 9-8, because the Cowboys are always throwing away games, or they can surprise me. But once again, it is the Cowboys, so I don't know how well they will do in the draft. So anyway, I have the Cowboys going 11-6. I have the Eagles going 11-6. I do believe they both will beat each other at least once, but I think that they will do that. So anyway, that being said, I hope everybody is having a better day than I am. I'm going to have to cut the show short because of family, like I said, some family issues that I've got to deal with. This is going to be a long day. So anyway, I thank you guys for your patience. I thank you for watching the show today. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, their Labor Day weekend. Everybody be safe.